A fascinating article published at ICR asserts that, once again, evolutionists have proven intelligent design. The article explains, according to evolutionary theory, chemicals must have somehow organized themselves into cellular life, presumably billions of years ago. And that means that enzymes must have formed themselves too. Enzymes, as you know, are highly selective catalysts, greatly accelerating both the rate and specificity of certain metabolic reactions within a living organism. Enzymes, though, appear to be highly engineered, miniaturized machines. Even intelligent human scientists, armed with the most sophisticated technology, have never been able to reproduce the design and manufacture of a single enzyme. So, logically, neither can unintelligent chemicals or the laws that govern them manufacture themselves. The title of a recent scientific report asserted that a particular enzyme evolved. It was in Nature magazine. The title of the report was Evolution of a New Enzyme. The study results, however, clearly demonstrate that this enzyme could not have evolved and was purposely created. The investigators compared the three-dimensional structures of similarly shaped enzymes that are found in different species of bacteria. One enzyme splits water and combines the resulting hydrogen atoms with sulfur in a process that captures chemical energy. That particular enzyme that manipulates sulfur is called a CS2 hydrolase. CS2 stands for carbon disulfide. The studies confirm that the core structure of the CS2 hydrolase, like that of similar enzymes, is critical. The scientist wrote in Nature, quote, "Any change in this area of the enzyme adversely affected protein activity." On the one hand, evolution's story requires that at some point in time, something altered what would become the enzyme core, and not only once, but again and again, as each structural piece evolved into place over eons of time. On the other hand, science observably demonstrates that altering the enzyme core in the slightest way is impossible without making the whole structure useless. The researchers found a clue in the DNA that suggested to them an idea of how the enzyme could have evolved. They said the DNA that codes for certain structures within the CS2 hydrolase gene could have, quote, jumped from another bacteria to this one. Perhaps some unknown cellular mechanism, quote, stitched it in, this little extra bit, at just the right place among the bacteria's 1.8 million DNA bases. But if that fairy tale story is so, could this process properly be called evolution? Well, of course not. If the gene jumped from another bacteria to this one, then it did not evolve because it already existed somewhere else. But in order for a lateral gene transfer to even work, in addition to the enzymes themselves, another mechanism had to already exist that could recognize, accept, and insert the foreign DNA at just the right place. Only then could it retrofit an enzyme in just the right way to enable the bacterium to live on sulfur. Where's the evidence here for evolutionary innovation? Pre-existing DNA and pre-existing DNA transfer and pre-existing splicing programs appear to have existed from the beginning. The authors of the article asserted that CS2 hydrolase, quote, emerged owing to the evolution of a new protein structure, end quote. But this statement ignores the fact that no new DNA actually emerged, and the proper placement of the so-called transferred DNA required just the opposite of evolution. It required intelligent, purposeful design. No, CS2 hydrolase did not evolve. In fact, experimental science shows that this enzyme functions today only because of its precise and specific arrangement of parts. And like any machine with multiple interconnected parts, whether biological or man-made, all the correct parts assembled in the correct configuration were needed from the very beginning.